Hey everyone, welcome to the ninth edition of Tiny Talks. Tiny Talks is a series of technical talks wherein Rocket alums present learnings from their real world work and projects. And today we have Himanshu Singh with us. Himanshu is a software engineer at Leap Wallet. And today is going to walk you through how to use components and profiler from React DevTools to navigate and debug your code. Debugging is sort of one of the most, if not the most, crucial skill for us developers. And so, if you haven't dived into that yet, this would be a pretty neat 101 introduction for that. So, yeah, that's about it. And over to you, Himanshu.
Thank you, Sapnil. Am I audible? So you can type yes or no in the chat. Okay, cool. So hey, good morning, everyone. First of all, thank you for joining in today on in Sunday morning. I'm hoping you will learn a thing or two, something new today. Before we start with the talk, maybe we can just do a quick run check if you have worked or have used React developer tools before. So maybe you can type yes or no in the chat. Okay. Okay, okay, so many yes. Okay, cool. Great then. I think you folks can then let me know if uh I'm saying something wrong. So please correct me. Yeah, sure. So let me share my screen. Yes, let's talk on the okay. Let me, is my screen visible? Because I can't.
Not yet.
Okay, let's share. I think it's now visible.
Yes.
Okay. Mm, it's allowed, so it's allowed. Let me quickly hide this thing and keep it here. And how can I? Uh, can you guys see this bar, Zumba, or is it only for me?
No, we can't.
Okay, cool. So yep, hey everyone. What I will discuss in this talk is first I will talk a bit about my project, and using that, then I will show how we can use components and profiler to basically navigate and debug our codes, our React code. So yep, so chat. I should just keep it here. Yep. So let's start with the project first. So the project that I will use to show how we can use React Developer to fill this forming type form. So this was a take-home assignment that I had done when I was looking for job after my college. So as you can see, it was from Growth8. So the assignment was to build a, we can say, clone or ditto copy of Typeform using all the animations that a Typeform shows in errors while selecting any option. So yeah, I used Next.js and CSS modules to build this, and we had a deadline of 1 week. So yep, I had done this in a week. I've also attached a screenshot stating what all non visual thing that I had done this in this project, like adding GitHub action to run lint and prettier check. Can I zoom in? Yeah, I think so. Then I wrote pre-commit lint and PTR check using Husky, then use CSS module to avoid naming collision. And after this, I had got the mail for first round as well, but at that time I had already won full-time offer, so I joined that call. So yep, I think that that's all about this project. I can maybe give you a run through quickly. So can click yes, type maybe if you enter it will show the error message, and in drop down if you click so it will show the animation that type controls. So this was the project that that I will use to show how we can use React Developer tool. I don't think there is any there are any questions so far because I just saw my project only. I can check chats again. Yeah, thank you, Swapnil. Yeah, so now on React Developer tool. So first thing is suppose if you are working with the React in non-browser based environment like React Native, then you can use a package. I haven't named the package here, but you can check the resources and you will find which package you can use with in your React Native code for your React Native code. So I have attached a bunch of resources that I use to basically learn how React developer tools work. And if you're working in browser, then yeah, we have an extension that you can basically install and use to check to basically use React developer tool. If I show you extension, so this one React developer tools. Yep. Now on components. So to show components, what I will do is instead of uh, using this, like I'd already created few branches that I will use. So let me just switch the branch and I will show you what I've done in that branch. So the and performed. Huh. So whenever you guys have any question, maybe you can unmute yourself and ask the question directly. That is fine. Yeah, I'm on unperformed branch. Let me run the. Uh, so in this branch, I will like commented all other portions and I've kept only portion number 3, and I will use this to show to show all the options that we have in React Developer Tool. Let me quickly open the developer tools, go on components. Just a quick check in chat. Okay. Now in developer tool, so first I will show all the options that we have in components tab, and then I will show how we can use profiler tab here. So first thing first, we have a component selector. The good thing about this React developer tools is that whenever you will hover on any option, you will see this tooltip mentioning what that option does. Like in this case, it's source. Select an element in the page to insert. So we can click on this. We can click whatever we want here. Suppose if we want to check this input component, we can click here and it shows the component selected here. So this is our question input industries. The second thing that you can see here is the search thing. So you can basically search with any string, and it works in the same way that we have our find thing on in an editor or in on any web page. Suppose if you click Control F or Command F, that it also searches for string in the complete web page, and the same in the same way this search works. So when you type any string, it will search for that string in all the components name. Like I typed question and it shows all the possible components having string question in their name. So if you have suppose a very big this component tree, then it really helps a lot in to select any particular component if you want to check. Okay, cool. Now we have in this. left view, we have the a component tree. So this one is pretty small, but in a production app, this gets really messy very soon, real soon. So, but we have again we have ways to deal with that as well. Now, suppose one way is to deal is you can select this settings thing. You can go here. You can change theming if you want. And right now, if you check, also let me check this one right now. If you check the display density, so right now it's compact, so that why you see basically this component tree right now is in compact form. And if I change it to comfortable, basically it zooms a bit, and now it feels like it's comfortable. I will keep it compact for now. I will come on these tabs as well in in a while. Okay, now we have talked about this left thing. Uh, Now let's discuss what we have on right hand side of this basically component tab view. So first thing first, on top we have bunch of options again. So if now I will show what all these options do here. So do you have any questions so far? Anything? Okay, I don't see any question in chat. So I think that's scroll down. Okay, now first thing first, what is this option do? So again, pretty good thing about this React Developer Tools. It shows in the tooltip what will option do. So in this case, shows it view source for this element. So basically, it redirects us. Right now, question input industries component is selected. So when I will click on this, it will redirect us in the source tab with that particular token selected. So right now, it shows question input industries and all the code for that. Okay, now let's go back in components. The second option here, this one is pretty good. So if I click on this, then it will basically print or console log this component in the console tab. Let me click on this. Now you can see we got the component here. Now, good thing about this is, suppose right now we have this industry's value list. We want to maybe we want to do the operation on this in the console itself. So what we can do here, we can come here, we can print that component in the console log. Then in this value, we can right click, we can store as global variable. Now that value is stored in temp1 variable. And now if I suppose I'm doing a very basic check if libraries exist or not in this list. Yet it exists because it's okay. I think I saw it. Yeah, it's here. And the same thing you can do with other with the other values here. Suppose if there are few things in the pop that you want to check, you can again come here, right click and store as global variable. So that helps if you want to do any operation on a state value or on any prop value. So yeah, that was for the second option. In the third option, basically it redirect us on the elements tab, and again, like sources, it will select the DOM element that has been rendered for this question input industry component. So let's see, yeah, the question input industry component. So this is the DOM element that has been rendered for this. These are all the options. And now these two, so for these two options, so let's talk about this timer thing first. So if you are using suspension in your code and you want to check what will be the user experience when your component is still in the loading state, then you can use this. Right now, I'm not using suspension in my code, so it will show me a message that the selected component is not within a suspense container. So suspending it would cause an error. Otherwise, it would show me the loading state, basically the loading experience that the user will have till my component is getting, till the data is getting fetched, basically. And this last option is to check if you have handled your app gracefully or not. Right now, like in my in this project, I have not handled that, so it will basically crash in a little weird way. Yep. But many times we use error boundary to to handle this thing in our so leap extension. We do that. So we have given the basically our support link there. So now let's refresh it. Actually, actually slot it. Yeah. So we talked about all the options. There is one more thing that we can do here. So if you come on settings, you can go on component. So if you check this open editor, you are right now it's custom. But if I set it to VS Code, so you will get an option here. So right now, like I think a few days back, my Chromium got updated and now it's not working. But what this option does is that it basically redirects us in the with the component selected in the VS Code. So it will open that file directly from your browser. So you can check if it's working in your browser or not. In my Brave, it's not working anymore. So yep, that's about all the options that we get in the top here. Now let's talk about props here. So again, for that, I wanted to show something. So props here. So the good thing about this component tab is you can directly change props from here and see how that behaves. Suppose right now, like I've given animation, like if it's in view and in view slide is up, so it will come from bottom to top. So if I want to check how that behaves, so what I can do is, okay, what I can do is basically I can right now it's false, so I can either change to value here only, and it will basically will do that animation. So in view slide up, or I can use this checkbox here. Right now it's false. If I set it to true, it will show how the component will come in the view. And the same thing I can do with out view. So out view slide is down here, so it will go down if I make it true. Yep. And if I change it, suppose I change out view slide to up, then it will now fade upward. So yep. So you can directly change your props and see how that behaves in your component. Okay, again, nice. Maybe we can do now the for states. So it in states like it shows all the hooks that is getting used in your component. Suppose if I show you the code, so it shows industry question shared state hook, and if I show the code, so we are using those hooks only, and then these are some state and use effects, so it shows that as well. And now this rendered by, so basically it shows the stake of component uh, that are basically rendered to that are basically the component those are get got rendered to render this particular question input industry component. So its parent industry input, then its parent question, basically the stack that you will also see when any error will get logged in the console. So yep, that was about the rendered by section, and this source is basically the component name only. Now, one more thing that we can do here is suppose if we want to check only child components of question here. So what we can do, we can come in this DOM tree, we can double click on this component, and it will show the child all the child components for this inside this question parent component. Now, if we want to do that for industry input, we can double click on this. In the same way, we can do for other things. Now, let's go back. Yep. So in this way, we can basically, if our component tree is very long, we can use this feature as well to basically to to check a particular component. Okay. what more? I think maybe we can now discuss thing all the options that we have in this settings uh, mode are. So we talked about general, that what options we have for so theme display density highlight update. I will show in a minute what this option does here. Now in debugging tab, we have again few options like append component stack, console warning and error. So you must have noticed that whenever any warning or error comes in our console, so by default it shows the component stack as well. So if you uncheck this checkbox here, you will not get that stack of component. Then so inline warning and error, the same thing. If you uncheck it, you will not get any warnings or errors in the console. Now break or warning. So if you want to make your project warning free, then you can basically use this. You can check this box here, and then it will break on each warning. So you have to then go and remove all the warnings as well. And the last one is that hide logs during second and in strict mode. So I think most of you guys should know. You must be knowing that in strict mode, our components get rendered twice just to check if that is a pure and if that is a pure render or not. Basically, nothing is getting changed on second render. So if you want to stop, if you don't want to get any logs in that second render, you can basically check this box here. And in components tab, again, we have a bunch of options. So expand component tree by default. So if you must have noticed that when I opened this component tab, our component tree was by default expanded. And if you uncheck this box here, you will have to basically expand component, the component whatever whichever you want to check. Now this second option always parse Roc8's name from source. So for that, I can bring that question into work. Right now, if you check it, so state here, state. But if we want to check the state name here, suppose for this one accounting, it should log it should log filter industries basically here. If we want to do that, we can come here components. We can select. We can basically check this box, and as it shows that may be slow, so many times you might not see it in the first view only. So I refreshed again. Again, it's not showing. It's again showing state only. But with that option, it really shows the state value name that we have used in our code. Also on what is open editor does here. Now again, a good thing here is hide components here. So right now, if you notice, let me. I will like keep it check only. Right now, if you notice that in our component tree, we are not getting any elements tag here like div, span, image, or anything like that. DOM elements tag basically. That is because I've hidden those components because I'm not sure how that can help us in our debugging. But if you disable this thing, and now if you check in our components tree, it shows all the DOM elements tag as well, like input, this and so yeah, let's keep it hidden only. And now in profiler tab, I will talk about these options in a bit again. Okay, I think yeah that's all we have in the components tab. So do you guys have any questions so far? Highlights, updates, and component. Yeah, sure. I think where that was present. Oh, okay. Highlights, update. Yeah, I will talk about that in a bit. Not learning lot of new things. Do you learn anything new till now? Okay, cool. Thank you. Yeah, cool. So if you guys have any questions, you can basically unmute yourself and ask before I go on the profile tab.
Hi, Himanshu.
Uh, how can I see?
Can you hear me? Hello?
Yeah, yeah. Hello. Yeah, audible.
Yeah, good morning. Good morning, Himanshu. Yeah,
Hey, good morning.
actually, I'm making React project, but I have this extension installed. But as such, I haven't used it because what I used to do, like I just used to see the errors and maybe Google or Stack Overflow or digital chat GPT also. But I haven't used it. But like, can you give me a bigger picture, like when this is required? I mean, maybe I haven't worked on that big projects. That's why I am maybe.
So, did you join right now, or you were from starting in this call?
I think I just no, I am from starting, but I think I just yeah, bit late maybe.
Okay. So yeah, like I haven't talked about the profiler tab yet, but using that tab basically, so I will talk about that tab can do. With the component tab, what you can do is suppose like I saw it in the props value, you can directly change the props value and see how that behaves for how that behaves in your component. Suppose right now if I want to check for this component how it will behave when it will come in view, basically the animation part. So I can check this basically I can change this prop value to true, and you can see the component's behavior inside your browser only instead of you going in the code, changing this value to true and then checking it. So, and the same thing you can do for all the props here. So on component using component tab, you can do that. The second good thing I like about component tab is this logging component on the console. Now with this, what you can do, you can basically you can check all the values. Suppose there was a big list of any options is coming in the prop and you want to run any operation on that. So what you can do is you can come here, whatever the value you want, you can store that as a global variable. In our case, it was a single value, but suppose it's a list. So what you can do, you can basically then do operation directly in your console only. Again, instead of going you in the code and console logging that component, checking different things. So with components, you can do all those things. And with profiler, so with profiler, you can basically check what's happening on renders in your app or project. So I will show you a live demo of that as well. So just wait a bit. Yeah, anything else?
Yeah, thank you for taking the question.
Yeah, cool. Thanks for asking. Uh, any more questions? Okay, cool. So now let's talk about profiler tab. Let me just check the tabs again. Okay. So in profiler tab, what again we have a bunch of options here, and that all the options are quite useful here. So first thing first, let me now show what this highlight update when component renders. So when I check this box here and I go in component, on each render it highlights what all components are getting re-rendered. So on each scroll, components are getting re-rendered, which is not something that we want. Okay, so I will show again how we can optimize that. So if we talk about options that we have in our profile tab, first thing again that the same setting here. And in profiler tab, now what you can do, you can record why each component rendered by profiling. So I will show what is the use of this check here. Second, you can basically hide commits below 0 millisecond. So again, I will show in a bit what is the use of this check here. And other than this settings, we have again few options. So this will reload and start profiling. Using this, basically, you can, if you have some profiler data, someone in your team had shared with that with you, you can basically import that data here and basically check what's the issue. And if you have profiled something and you want to save that profile data again to share with your team, you can do so that as well. Now this is the frame graph. Uh, I think I should show what all these options do. Suppose I will reload and start profiling now. Okay, let's stop it. So now if you check, we can basically clear this data, and we can, if we want, we can also import this profile data. Now, okay, few things again. So if you check first these bars here, so these are all the commits that happened that React did. And if you know that React works in two phases, first is render, second is commit. In the commit phase, it basically puts all the changes on the DOM. So right now if you check, we didn't do anything. We just open the drop down, scrolled a bit, but instead for that action, it did a bunch of commits, and on each commit, it is like doing a bunch of tasks here. So it is if you check on these commit did not render in this commit, but this component was rendered, but it was pretty fast. It was 0.1 millisecond only, and that's why the color is cool here. And if you check this warm color, then it shows it took, basically it means that it took a while to render this component, and same for the options here. So on each commit, the options are getting re-rendered, which is not something needed here. So I will show that how we can optimize for that. Before that, maybe I can show other options as well. So this was a flame graph. In flame graph, like we have on left hand side, we basically it lists all the components and how much time it basically the what is the priority of that component. Suppose if component has a warm color, this orange color, then it means that it took a while to render this component, and we should optimize for that. And on this right side, basically shows what happens in this commit. It shows that priority immediate, committed time, render duration, and also shows like what caused this update. So if you check in this settings, so we have we have selected this record by each component render, and because of that, it's giving us what caused this update. In this case, it says that shared states variable. Though there was some change in shared state variable, the shared state provider, and I can show what the change as well. So if you come in this shared state context, so we are using so industry list, and basically this state is is getting used to basically uh, to show or hide the drop down value. So if you check the component, so industry list, so that is changed because, and that is called this render here. And again, why? So we can check in our code also that if we can optimize that thing. In my case, why I kept it in the shared state context is because whenever any user clicks outside the dropdown, I wanted to close that basically dropdown view of dropdown list. That's why I kept it in the parent component, and that called like I kept it in the shared states provider, and that calls render for all the children here. Again, something that we can optimize depending on the context. And again, what we can do is we can, if we want to check for a particular component, we can do that as well. So now I selected question input industry, and it shows why I did this render. So context change and prof change. So industry list, the thing that I just shared. So in this case, show industry list changes, and because of that, this component re-rendered. But if you check this option component here, like drop down select option, it says that prof change on click. So again, if you come in check in the code and check, so this on click prof is changed here, which is something that we can optimize. So basically, we can memorize the this function here. So I've created a branch for that as well. So I will show that how we can do that, how we can optimize this re-render here. So yeah, these are all the commits that happened in in plain graph. It shows, it gives us all that info. Few more things that we get is, suppose I'm on this fourth commit and it shows that duration. It took 8 milliseconds to render all the components here. Then layout effect, it took 0. Less than zero point 0.1 millisecond to run layout effect. So this layout effect is, you guys must have used layout effect in your hook in your code. So this value is for that hook, and this passive effect is for use effect. If I show you on the first render, so it must have took some time on first render, because in this render what we did is, in our question input industries, we basically looping over all the industries and filling the filter industry value. That's why it took a bit time to run passive effect here. So yeah, that was about the commit information. Now in ranked chart, basically it shows all the whatever value we have here in the ranked order. Like the component took the most time will come on top, and then it will go in descending order from here. And you can check that for other commits as well. Yeah, and this in timeline option. Okay, so this is something which I think is not complete yet, because I saw a commit in the React wrap on GitHub, and they are, I think in the next update you will see the screenshots here as well. The same thing that we have in our performance tab today in the developer tools, Chrome developer tools. The same thing you will see here for the React component. But today, what it gives, what this timeline shows that what React is doing while basically rendering our component. So all these dots shows our state update, like what all state update scheduled. In this case, question input industries, state update schedule, and all other state. And these two sync and default link. So sync runs after use effect. So here if you check again, it shows that React render, and after that it also shows that React committed. If you check React render, React committed in this case, but after this, like, React only rendered and not committed. So there was no update on the DOM in this case. And the default is the default one that runs before use effect, and sync is that runs after use effect. So yep, that was about the timeline here. Now, how we can optimize here? If you check right now on each commit drop down option, if you check this, it's getting rendered, which is something not required, and we should always optimize for work which is basically which is unnecessary. In this case, this rendering down select option component is not necessary here, because we haven't changed anything. So what we can do is to optimize this. Let me quickly switch my branch here. Okay, so right now on each committed getting rendered. Now I will show that how we can optimize that. So let me rerun the let's clear this view. So our app, yeah. Now again, I will profile my app here. Let's reload, and okay. Now if you see again 13 commits, but on each commit, like in this commit, nothing was changed. If you overrun any commit, so that nothing was changed. So in this commit, the drop down select option was rendered for the first time. That why it's in this that why it has this warm color. But after that, if you check, we never re-render the drop-down select option again. We can basically optimize these components as well. So if you check on these components, so context change, and we can optimize basically the shared state provider. We can optimize that as well. But right now, I just optimize this drop-down select option, and on each commit, now if you check, we are not re-rendering that component again. So like this is a small project, so you might not see the performance improvement by your eyes only, and you have to do benchmarking for that. But suppose if you have a very big app and the experience is very janky there, then after doing this optimization, you will see the performance improvement in the app itself. Like the app will feels more smoother after doing all the optimization. And if I talk about the optimization that I did here, so I didn't do much basically. So what I did is, yeah, so I created a new drop-down select option wrapper component, and basically I've used React.memo to memorize that component. So now it only renders when any value of these components changed. And if you check now, we do not pass any functions here. So okay, we pass one like handle drop down option click, and we are use callback again to catch that component basically. That's why it's not getting re-rendered on each commit now. So I use a very simple example to show that, but we can do the same thing for other states here, and we can optimize our code. And yep, I think that was all in the that was all about the profiler tab here. Now, one thing that is left is I showed that what is the use of this highlight update with when component ended. So if you have not noticed, so on each render now it highlights the components. And in profiler, we also showed what is the use of this record why each component rendered while profiling it. So it shows the reason why this basically rendered happened. And this hide commit below 0 milliseconds. So right now, if you check all our commits, I think they were more than a second actually. Okay, this one is 0.1 second. It took 0.1 second to commit this change. Suppose we are working on a very big app, and there are one. So we first thing is we should optimize for commits for commits that are taking a longer time, because we should obviously optimize for that first. So in that scenario, if we want to hide all the commits below a particular threshold, suppose we don't want to optimize for commits below 0.1 millisecond, so we can set that value here, and you can select this box, and it will basically hide all the commits below 0.1 second, 1 millisecond. Mm, So if I enter value 1000, basically I'm uh, okay. It means so not no commits now. But basically you can use this option to hide the commits below a particular threshold value. Um, I showed all the things here. Do you have anything comment? No. So I think that is all the thing that I wanted to show the message ending. Yeah, that I wanted to share in the React developer tools. It's 11:47 hours. So if you guys have any questions, we can just take that now. Yeah, you guys can unmute if you want to ask any question. Let me share this sheet as well in the chat. So I like added a bunch of resources that you can go through if you want to uh, check this React developer tools by yourself. Like this one is this resource is a actually a tutorial that you can use to basically learn about the React developer tools. And this one is a I think a talk by the creator of React developer tools. Yeah, sure. I will add this nothing.
Himanshu, can you click on the view site, copy that link?
Okay.
Yeah.
I think that was same only. Okay, cool. Maybe I can stop sharing now.
Yeah.
Actually, I have a
Folks,
question related to,
yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
yeah. Actually, can you go to the screen? Actually, I have to understand that part. When you were clicking on on your, yeah, on your project,
Hmm.
where type or select an option. If you clicking here, I think there were a lot of rendering. I didn't understand. Yeah, yeah. This one I didn't understand what it is.
So here what's happening like so you want to know why this rendering is happening?
Yeah, I mean, I think any changes we have made in the settings. That's why I think this we are seeing now.
Oh, okay, yeah. So we have enabled this highlight updates when component render. That's all. So if I uncheck this box now, it will not show the boxes, the highlighting part.
And what is for this? I mean, what's the purpose of it?
So if okay, right now like this is the optimized code. I've checked this checkbox here. You will now see what all components are getting rendered. Now if I go on the unoptimized code version, next one. So basically it gives an idea that what's happening. So in now if you check all these renders that are happening for the values that are going upward, that should not happen. So it gives you an idea that something wrong is happening. Now what you can do is you can come on the profiler tab and you can profile your app to check exactly what's happening, what is getting re-rendered, and if that re-render is necessary or not. And with that info, you can optimize your code.
Yeah, yeah, got it. I think we have to, I think, memorize. That's why we have memoized React.mem.
Yeah, this shows that something wrong. I will not say wrong, but something unnecessary thing is happening in our code that we should look into.
Got it, got it.
Yep. Uh, okay. So I think yeah, cool. Maybe I can stop sharing now.
Folks,
Thank you
final.
everyone for joining.
All right, folks,
Yeah,
if you
sure.
have uh, any learnings from this talk, you can tag us on social media, and I'll just share Himanshu's handle in the chat. I think this is his handle at all three places: LinkedIn, Instagram, and Twitter, now X. So yeah, whatever you learned, if you took any screenshots or anything, just post it there. We want to have more such sessions. So uh, if you can just also just wait 2 minutes after I stop recording. I think that would be really helpful. And yeah, thank you, Himanshu, for taking out this time and showing DevTools in a very visual, in an interactive way, like without any slides. I think that is the best part. Uh,
Uh,
awesome. And to rest of the folks watching the recording later, see you next time. Bye bye.
yeah.